Hi, I'm RageNade, and I answer questions literally no one cares about. Deltarune has a lot of characters that I would consider to be some of the best in all of gaming at this point. I mean, our main trio alone is so perfectly well written that all of them have made me emotional. Chris's piano playing here really got to me on my second playthrough for some reason. Susie's speech at the end of Chapter 3 was just really heartfelt and cemented her as one of my favorite characters in the game so far. And then Ralph say, "Everything's okay, Chris. Look, I'm smiling." It's okay to not smile. Oh, god damn it. This scene still makes me cry every time I see it. It's like all the stuff with Asriel and the true pacifist ending of Undertale, which still makes me emotional 9 years later. If you picked Good Keep Smiling, there's a special place in hell for you. I'd rather make things take a fucking weird route, and I don't want to do that shit either. But in the midst of all these super complex characters, stands one character on his own as truly the most well-written. The way he speaks moves me to tears. I don't know what to say. Jockington exists, and the world is better for it. But what the hell is up with this guy? What does this guy know? Why is he in the prophecy? Is him growing a beard a sign of the roaring? Is Jockington a goner? Alright, let's take a step back and figure out how he even got to the point of me asking that. First, let's just look at the weird things surrounding Jockington. Okay, elephant in the room. He's in the prophecy. What the fuck is going on there? There's a chance that Jockington is just like a biblical name or something in the world of Deltarune, but why is there also a picture of him? And why is this even here? Jockington grows the beard? Okay, a lot of people grow beards. That's kind of a normal thing. But this panel gets even weirder when you realize that Jockington is literally the only character that is exactly, specifically named by the prophecy. Sure, the prophecy mentions Queen and the Knight, but those are also pretty general names. It's not saying Q5U4EX7YY2E9N or December Holiday, which are much more exact names. I know we're not absolutely sure that the Knight is Des, but even then, I doubt the Roaring Knight's real name is the Roaring Knight. Even when it pictures Asgore, it just refers to him as the Flower Man. But Jockington is not only pictured in the prophecy, but fully named as well. Why? Is I Gaster just a really big Jockington fan or something, and then he just kind of decided to add this to the prophecy later on? But also, I want to bring some attention to some of his dialogue in the diner in Chapter 2. Mainly, his random-ass life advice.
Welcome to Life Advice with Jockington, the show that'll remind you that even in the worst moments, we'll be with you in the dark. I am your host. Say my name, folks. I guess no one knows my name. That's okay, that's fine. I am your host, Mr. Antenna, and today's guest to help you find a little more purpose in your lives is the beard-growing, sports-loving serpentine that can also double as a hula hoop, Jockington. Take it away, little jockey.
Life is a big ball game, and when the man is on the field, he does a big dunk. Try to be that dunk.
Wow, what a heartwarming piece of advice from Jockington. What do you think, Chris?
Why the fuck does Jockington say this? It's completely unrelated to literally anything else he says here in the diner. There is no reason for him to say any of this. Or so I thought. What does Susie do at the end of Chapter 4 to defeat the Titan? That's right, she literally dunks Chris into the Titan, and that's how they fucking defeat it. Why does Jockington know? You may be saying, oh, it's just like simple, stupid foreshadowing. He doesn't actually know. But again, this is unrelated to literally anything else he talks about. It's not like he's talking before about, life advice when you talk to him. No, he's talking about Caddy and how he's always there for her. He has no real reason to say any of this. He also says it specifically to Chris, who is the one who gets dunked into the Titan. So, Jockington is both mentioned directly in the prophecy and is also someone who foreshadows the ending of Chapter 4 for some reason. And one last little thing to bring up regarding Jockington's knowledge. I know this isn't canon, so it absolutely doesn't mean anything, but this is a Deltarune theory, so I gotta bring up stuff that doesn't matter. A couple months ago, near the start of the year, Toby made some social media posts with some silly little images to remind people that Chapters 3 and 4 were coming out this year, and to let everyone know that the chapters were being bug tested. And who's that guy? That's right, Mr. Generosity. I know it doesn't mean anything, but why is Jockington the one telling us this? What are you planning, Tony Phony? What's happening to this guy? With everything else that's just weird about this guy, I felt like this was worth bringing up. Does he know that Deltarune is a game? Why would he have this knowledge? Who knows? Maybe it's not that fucking far-fetched if he was the one foreshadowing the way to beat a goddamn Titan if we were just too blind to see it. My mind is in a rapid state of decay and I am rotting away. Okay, again, to clarify, this is not canon or anything. It's a fucking Blue Sky post. It doesn't mean anything. But why does it have to be Jockington? I'm a Jockington fan through and through, but why is it him? And why is this his catchphrase? Is he gonna say this in Chapter 5? Now, moving on past Jockington's knowledge, there's one more striking thing about Jockington, and that's obviously his speech. The way he talks with strange grammar and random words being capitalized is probably due to the fact that he's fucking stupid, according to Caddy. But there's something I noticed when it comes to his speech, when playing through the entire game again, is that his speech just deteriorates more and more. He's mostly coherent in chapters 1 and 2, but what the fuck happened in the course of a day? Why does he talk now like he's been put through Google Translate 100 times? For me, she covered in hair always. We do what? The other can. What the hell are you talking about, Jockington? This guy's fucking insane. He did not talk like this in Chapter 1. What is happening to this guy? But wait. There's a character in Deltarune that has had something similar going on with their speech, and they're very similar to a character in Undertale who had a bit too much knowledge about something specifically. Oh god, it's all Gaster. You're probably very aware of the Gaster followers in Undertale by this point, but fuck it, I'm explaining them anyway. They're NPCs in Hotland that appear if your fun value is within a certain range, and they talk about the elusive Dr. W.D. Gaster, the guy who I believe was literally only in Undertale to foreshadow Deltarune, considering he's so secret and he doesn't really have any importance in Undertale's story, and he seems far more important to Deltarune. These monsters also resemble other monsters found in Undertale, but gray, with the exception of one follower who never had a counterpart in Undertale, but now does in Deltarune. This weird-ass bird thing from the library that really likes the books upstairs. The Gaster followers are also likely goners, considering their visual similarities to both Goner Kid and Clam Girl when she turns into a goner, but also their knowledge. All Gaster followers possess knowledge of Gaster, a character that is quite literally never mentioned in the game otherwise. Goner Kid likely possesses some knowledge about different timelines, considering they ruminate on the idea about worlds where they don't exist, which is most playthroughs of Undertale, considering they're a fun value event. And Clam Girl knows about Deltarune, considering she says in the Switch version of Undertale that the time to meet her neighbor's daughter, whose name is Susie, spelled differently, why, I don't fucking know, is fast approaching, and this was added like a month before Deltarune Chapter 1 released. They all share some sort of like forbidden knowledge, and are not in most Undertale worlds because they're fun value events. Anyway, that wasn't too important, with the exception of this thing. They're in Deltarune, and when you meet them for the first time in the library, they're normal. They just say that they like reading books, especially the ones upstairs. Chapter 2, basically the same thing, except this time, they're upstairs. Nothing different. Where it gets weird is in Chapter 4, where when you talk to them upstairs, they randomly break off in the middle of a sentence and start talking differently about the books upstairs before trailing off. Now, because this thing is a goner in Undertale, I feel like something similar could happen here. Or this bird thing is the same one as in Undertale, and it just traveled through universes like sands or some shit, I don't know. So the source of the forbidden knowledge, in this case, seems to be the books upstairs. And when it's raining, they can be found again near the lake, where they tell you, don't wait, and also, wait, don't. Hang on. Wait, don't. W.D. It's all Gaster! And here, Jockington says we do, with we and do capitalized, like W.D. He's everywhere! Aww. Okay, no, but seriously, this bird thing actually follows a very similar pattern to Jockington in terms of their speech. In the first two chapters, they talk relatively the same, but suddenly in the fourth chapter, their speech is just more deranged. And that's what I just discussed with Jockington. But what else did we discuss about Jockington? Well, he seems to know how to defeat the Titans for some reason, which is knowledge that Ralsei, the guy burdened with the knowledge of the prophecy, doesn't even know. So you know what that means? It's over, Jockington. This guy's a fucking goner. The strange amount of knowledge he has about defeating Titans and his deteriorating speech honestly somewhat mirrors what we know about goners. I'm definitely not reading too far into this. I would never. What? The guy who theorized that Starwalker is a fucking ghost because he said he's the original Starwalker and he just kind of appears out of nowhere is overanalyzing something? What? Okay, no, but the chances of Jockington legitimately being a goner are probably pretty low. Similar to my Starwalker theory, this video isn't being made so I can think that I'm right. It's more to think about things in a different way and explore what could happen rather than what I think will. Could he be a goner? Man, I don't fucking know. I'm not Toby Fox. I didn't think we'd be killing Titans in Chapter 4, so anything's possible. But he probably isn't. Maybe. Or he's incredibly important to the story and we just don't know. And we'll never know. But now I have a different theory. Gaster's a Jockington fanboy, and that's why he's in the prophecy. We're gonna go into the shelter in chapter 6 and walk into the lab of Mr. Wingding himself, and the walls will just be filled with Jockington memorabilia. The locker that's in the school that has all the Jockington stuff, that's just Gaster's. He just really likes Jockington.